Hey babes, it's your girl Sophie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing this lovely smoky cranberry glittery look on this beautiful model, Gabriella. And if you guys enjoy it, make sure to subscribe. So we're going to go ahead and get started with some moisturizer. I'm using the Tarte H2O moisturizer on her and I'm just applying that with a stippling brush all over her face and down her neck. For her lips, I'm going to be moisturizing them with the Burt's Bees All Natural Chapstick. Moving on to eyebrows, she actually has her brows microbladed already, so I didn't need to do much work. I'm using this BH powder palette, and I'm just filling in the sparse areas. To prime her lids, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm just applying that all over her eyes. And then to set it, I'm using the LC Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, and I'm just grabbing that beige, whitish color, and this is going to be the base for the rest of the eyeshadows. For today's look, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette, and I'm picking up the color Henna, and I'm using this as a transition color. I'm just applying that all over her crease as well as the outer V of her eye, and I'm just packing that on to my liking. The next color I'm going to be grabbing is Man Eater, and it's a beautiful pinky cranberry color, and I'm just applying that all in the same areas to really build up the intensity of this look. Now I'm grabbing the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm using this reddish brown color and just applying that onto the outer V's to just intensify this look. I'm not dragging it into the inner part of her crease as much. I'm just placing it onto the outer V and then blending, and I'm repeating this process like about 2 times. So I pack it on the outer V and then I blend it upwards. Now I'm grabbing the shade Cocoa and Bossy, and I'm just doing the same exact technique. I'm packing onto the outer parts of her eye and then blending upwards with a clean brush. Makeup is all about blending, and it's a process. You have to be patient with it. Just when in doubt, blend out. Going back to the LC Cosmetics palette, I'm getting that black color to really smoke out this look. I'm getting a small pointed blending brush and applying that more towards the lash line as well as the outer V. And then I'm going to go and blend that upwards just like last time, repeating the same steps over and over again. Now for the lid color, I'm using Angelic and Fling, and I also sprayed this with some water to really make it metallic and intense. And I'm basically cutting her crease with the shadow and with the shimmer, and I'm just making sure to really get a nice defined line and going back and forth, as well as blending the black with the shimmer. You want to make sure to go back and blend that out so you don't have that harsh line in between. Now I'm getting the Too Faced glitter glue and the Carnivalista glitter, and I'm making sure she's tilted her head a little bit back just so there's not so much fallout. And I'm basically just applying this onto the area that we applied all of that shimmer beforehand. I absolutely love this glitter. It's multi-toned and it looks beautiful on her eyes. Now for the winged eyeliner, I'm using the Amazonian Clay from Tarte. I absolutely love this liner and recommend it to everyone and anyone who's doing clients. So I'm having her look down into the side so I can get into that inner corner to really line her lash line so it's prepped for lashes. Now for the winged eyeliner, I'm extending it out, and then from there I connect it from the top down to the middle, and then I fill in, and that's the best way I can explain how I do winged eyeliner. If you guys want me to do a video explaining more details, I will. Now for lashes, I'm using the Sophie Cosmetics lashes in Basic B, and these are one of my favorite lashes because I love how intense they are. Now for primer, I'm using the Becca Backlight Primer. She does have dry to normal skin, so I want to make sure she looks nice and dewy throughout the day. So I'm going to be getting this J-Cat liquid drops. I'm applying that just on her high points to really just make her glow and have a glow from within. I felt like the backlight didn't do its justice. Now for foundation, I'm using one of my favorite for my clients, and it's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and I believe this is in the color Honey Bronze. My model actually self-tanned, so I wanted to make sure to match the color of her body, not the color of her face, because it's a lot lighter than the rest of her body. For contour, I'm using the ABH contour sticks, and I made sure to disinfect it beforehand so I'm able to go back and forth in the product. So super important, if you're using any sticks, just make sure to disinfect them beforehand. So I'm just contouring her forehead, her cheekbones, her jaw, her nose, the basic stuff, and I'm just blending that out with a brush. For concealer, I'm using Tarte Shape Tape and applying that onto the high points in the areas that we want to highlight, like the center of the forehead, down the bridge of the nose, under the eyes, on the chin, and I'm using my brush to blend that out. For when I get closer under her eyes, I use a cosmetic wedge. Why? Because it is the most sanitary thing to use, because you just throw them out when you're done with your client, and they're so affordable, so cheap, and the best thing you could use for sanitary purposes when you're working with clients. 100% recommend. For setting under her eyes, I am using the Laura Mercier setting powder, and I'm just baking under her eyes. I don't leave it for a long time just because she does have dry to normal skin. For bronzer, I'm using the MAC Give Me Sun, one of my favorites, and I'm just applying that on the areas that we cream contoured on her face. For blush, I'm using the NYX Cosmetics blush palette, and I'm getting that top right blush that's a more corally color, and I absolutely love coral blushes. Now I am just spritzing her face with some shimmering setting spray and then patting it right after into her skin to avoid any spots that the setting spray kind of takes out the foundation. For highlight, I'm using the Sophie Cosmetics highlight in the color Champagne Poppy, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that onto all of the high points of her face. For eyeliner, I'm using a L'Oreal waterproof liner and just being very gentle with under her eyes and applying that into the waterline. To smoke it out, I'm using the shade Henna with a smaller defined brush. I'm just going to go ahead and smoke that under her lash line, and then I'm going to add some black right onto the outer parts just to really intensify it and make it look more smoky. With a disposable wand, I'm applying mascara onto her bottom lashes as well as her top lashes. I like to lift my client's eye just a little bit, so of course I don't get any mascara near their eyeballs. Now I'm just lining her lips with this LA Girl lip liner and just prepping it for the lipstick. I don't remember what lipstick I used because the camera did cut off, but I know it was a liquid lip, and then we just applied some clear gloss on top. And that's basically it for this look, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. Bye!